Yep. What's going on, everybody? So today we are making top ramen noodles, and I'm gonna teach you two ways of cooking it. My favorite way, everybody likes to put certain things in their ramen. I'm gonna teach you how to cook the regular way, and then I'm gonna teach you how to cook or put in certain things to make it taste really good. So I got my water boiling in the back. It's a little ways away, so no, it won't catch fire. So let's get into it. Okay, so once you have your water boiling to a rumbling boil, mine was, but I moved it to the front burner so you can see it better. You add your noodles into it. It should be fine to add them into now. Then depending on how do you want the texture, how long you want them to sit in the water. So you add the noodles in and you let it come to a boil. Inside each pack comes with the little individual pack for seasoning, but I like to add my own seasoning to it so you can get a look at what it looks like. And these aren't necessarily always the ramen I use. Sometimes it's just regular ramen. These are the top ramen ones. So yeah. So what I like to do with mine while it's boiling, I like to add a little bit of apple cider vinegar. I don't know, I think some logic in it. I'm not really a chef, but I chef bar ID when I'm at home by myself and cook a really good noodle. So while it's boiling, I think this is cooking the apple cider vinegar into the noodles. So that's why I do it. So I just pour a little bit. See now, if you could tell, it's boiling. Got a nice little boil going. So you just add a little bit of the apple cider. Well, not little, just as much as you want. Just so while it's boiling, the water will cook it into it. Cook it into each noodle. So then it gives a nice little aroma around the house. So you can smell good. Clear the sinuses with the apple cider vinegar being cooked. So while you're cooking it, like the longer you cook it, the softer the noodles are going to get. Like right now, this is a little too hard for me, but I like them still a little crinkly, a little wrinkled. It gives a good flavor, and I'll tell you why as the video progresses. But these are really good. I don't like using a big burner because I think I'm wasting a lot of energy. If you can tell, I moved it to the front, the pot to the front. The pot is actually too big for the burner itself. Let's see if I can get over top. And all the red is not necessarily under the pot. So I like to use a smaller burner so I won't waste energy. I feel like I'm wasting a lot of energy for the heat just going into the air like that. So yeah, let these cook for another roughly 2 minutes or so, and then it should be right where I like it at. Okay, this is how I like them. I like them. If you could tell, you can't really tell, but they're a little straight, but they still crinkly, and they still have a lot of the so-called flavor and everything in it. So while the apple cider vinegar is cooking into it, now what I like to do, I like to take it off the burner. Looking good. And I like to rinse them off. I don't know why, it's like a little thing. I think, now this doesn't make sense, but it's what I do. I rinse them off because I want to rinse the starch off of it. Now, if you look, the water's a little cloudy. Now, it's not only from the apple cider vinegar, but it's also from the noodles itself. So the little fume that's on the noodles while they're still hard or preserved, I like to rinse that off, and I don't like to eat that. So let me rinse it off and I'll be right back. Okay, now I rinsed them. Now, if you can tell, the water's a little clearer, which I like. See if I can clear it up for you. Which is what I like, because now I think the starch or whatever is from the package is rinsed off the noodles. Now, while they're like this, I put them back on the burner when it's hot, and I start adding everything into it, so I can cook those flavors into it. So first, add the pack. While it's starting to heat up, the water starting to boil at the bottom. You're gonna notice it's gonna start to boil. So remember, I told you there's 2 ways. This is how you cook it if you just want to add the pack into it. So what it does, it allows the flavor from the pack to cook into the noodles. Now, if you can tell, the water's boiling. You can hear it. I don't know if you can hear it with how far it's away. Mix it all up in there. Get it all nice and flavorful. Make sure you have a good pot too. And try not to scrape the pot with your fork. I know I'm hitting it a couple of times, but I usually use wooden utensils. But for the purpose of this video, I use this. I should have just brought them out anyway. I was being a little lazy and I feel like washing them. I used them last night. So now it's all mixed in. Now the broth is a little brown. Just let it cook in. Now that's how you cook a regular pack, and then you can eat it just like that. It looks good. Just cook the flavor into it. So, and then let it stay on for like another 45 seconds or so while it's like this, because what you're doing is cooking the flavor into it, which makes it really good. Hear it bubbling. But now this is what I do. Now add all my fixings to it. I add soy sauce. I'm not promoting any of these brands. This is just what I use while it's cooking. I put some soy sauce in there. I like a lot of soy sauce. Then I add some ketchup. Let me turn it down some. I'm moving a little slow because of the video. And of course I didn't open all the packages. Each one I had to get new stuff. Add some ketchup into it. Not too much. About a tablespoon. And then I add some hot sauce. Ooh, you know I like that. Hot sauce. So this is the hot sauce, Texas Pete. I'm more of a Texas Pete instead of red hot and anything else. Regular ketchup. I get it where there's no high fructose corn syrup in it, everything. This is soy sauce. I didn't get the low sodium. They had a low sodium one, but it's got the original. Better flavor. It's less sodium. So while it's cooking up, you hear it's boiling. So it's cooking into it. So now it gives it a darker hue, which is really good, and it adds a lot of flavor to it. So now the noodles they're pretty good, but I think I let them cook a little too long, but they're still good. They're gonna turn out exactly how I like them. So I'm hitting the pot a lot, hitting the pan. Try not to scrape. This is pretty bad. I should use my chopsticks over there. I think that'll end up being a little better. So now it's a little thick. If you see the broth is a little thicker. It reminds you more of if you eat Chinese food, yak, I think is what it's called. And it's really good. Now once you got it all cooked up, Chef Boyardee'd up. Look at that. That look good. So now get the taste in it. Okay, this is the end results. This is what they look like. They're good. Now, depends on how much water you have in it, how much broth you will have. Like, this is good for me. I don't know if you can see it. I like it just slightly soupy, just enough so it's a little thick. But depends on my mood. If you put more water, it'll be a lot thinner. But I like it just like this. This is usually how I like the texture. It's pretty good. Now I'm about to dig in. So let me know how you make yours in the comments, and if you think I should add something else to it to get a different flavor, or what you do. So thanks for checking out my vid.